Have a seat. You are not already having a seat. Come on in. Welcome, by the way. Welcome to Sunday Assembly. Real quick, round of applause. How many, for you, this is your first Sunday Assembly? Today, how many round of applause are going to be repeat? I almost said repeat customers, but we're not church. We're not big. So repeat assemblies. How many? Welcome back. Very cool. Welcome back. My name is Ian Harris. I will be hosting you through today. Thank you for having me, by the way. So also, you notice there's some cameras around and such. There's a media-free zone that's over there. Yes, waving. You see them waving? If you don't want to be in pictures or on camera for any reason, feel free to sit over there. There will not be anything there. So you can go ahead and do that now. We'll also, when I think of media-free zone, please, if you have a phone or something, which I think we all do, let's put it on vibrate, turn it off so we're not in the middle of something and all of a sudden you'll hear your 50-cent ringtone going off or whatever it is you hear. Looks like most of you probably have a 50-cent ringtone. So we're going to do a little icebreaker. We all have, you've been before, we like to right off the bat before we get into it, just do a little icebreaker. Something that's kind of fun, a little game. You can, you don't know the person next to you or the people behind you, you can get to know them. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little game of rock, paper, scissors. I assume we all know rock, paper, scissors. If you don't know rock, paper, scissors, feel free to go back to the cave you live in. Or ask the nearest 5-year-old next to you. So rock, paper, scissors. I'll explain it if you don't know. Basically, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, shoot. And you get to either make a rock, paper, or scissors, right? The paper beats the rock beats the scissors, and the scissors beats the paper. Okay? No cheating and doing rock, paper, scissors deity that wins all the time. That doesn't happen. Not doing rock, paper, scissors, deity. We're doing rock, paper, scissors. This is what we're going to do. We're all going to stand up. We're going to turn to the person next to you. And I'm going to call it out. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, shoot. The loser's going to sit down. The winner's going to go to the next nearest person. And we're going into a battle royale. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Rock, paper, scissors to the death. No, the winner. So the final winner will get a t-shirt. At the end of somebody going to get a t-shirt. And that will be your prize. So here we go. Everyone's standing up. We're going to go on a 4 count. So we're going to rock. I'll say 1, 2, 3, shoot. Loser sits down. Okay, here we go. Let's give this a try. And 1, 2, 3, shoot. Who's left? All right.
We got one more back here.
One more back here. Needs an opponent or doesn't have one? We have an odd number. She gets a buy-in to the next round. Okay, here we go. Ready, and 1, There's 3, 4. All right, let's get the 4 up here. Come on, let's get the 4 up here. Let's do that one. We've got Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, and I don't know who else. Here we go. 2 and 2. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, shoot. Let's go again. And 1, 2, 3, shoot. Great minds think alike. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh. And now, who will be the teacher? What do you mean? Name? Krista and Ted. Krista and Ted. Here we go. Who will take home the shirt? Krista or Ted? Who's rooting for Krista? And who's rooting for Ted? All right, here we go. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, shoot! And 1, 2, 3, shoot! Yes! Ted! Good night for one out. All right.
What's your size?
You sure?
What's your size?
Well, what's your size? What's your size?
Come on back.
Large? Large. We'll be getting Ted a shirt. Congrats to Ted. Thank you guys for playing. I hope that was fun. So, by the way, we're going to do a second game later on. At the end of all this, we're going to do a game called Two Truths and a Lie. Have you played that before? Two Truths and a Lie? Have you heard of it? Yes? Good. All right. So what we do at Two Truths and a Lie is this: at the end, you're going to stand up and you're going to find somebody that you don't know. Hopefully someone near you. And you're going to tell them something about yourself. You're going to tell them 2 truths and 1 lie. And then they have to figure out which one is the lie. So like if I were doing it to you, you guys can figure out it. I can tell you, let's see, what would be 2 truths? I can tell you 2 things. I'll tell you 3 things about myself. 1, I used to be a fundamentalist Christian preacher. 2, in addition to being a comedian, I also train professional UFC fighters. And 3, I've been with my wife for 24 years. Okay? So one of those is a lie, and you can figure it out later, maybe. I am a comedian. That's my job. So, by the way, if you before I get into me being a comedian, we do have kids in the back. For if you want to, you can have your kids can stay here, or if they want to go, there's activities and stuff. It's a good time now. Now would be the time if you want your kids to go to the Sunday Assembly kids back there. Go ahead and take them back. There won't be anything. We're not going blue today or anything, but they're back there. See the hands are waving. There's a child attached to a woman, and she's waving. Bring your child. The child looks like your chest. So go on there. And yes, but I will say, although I keep it clean. I'm a comedian. My filter is a little different than other people's filter. So if I say something in my comedic sense, then it's my opinion, not the opinion of the Sunday Assembly. So please don't think it is. Because sometimes I do say stuff, and they're just jokes. That's what I do. I joke. So, but what is Sunday Assembly? You guys have been? It's a place to gather. It's community. It's like church without the church. That's what it is. We have basically our tenets are what? To live better, help often, and wonder more. That's it. Those 3 things. Okay? It's church without all the religious stuff. We don't need it. So that's what we're here for. So enjoy yourselves, have a good time, and we will have some great people, music and games. And some informative, some great information, some different speakers. I'm going to bring up right now one of our assembly, one of the organizers here, a person who brought me in, who I love her. She's really awesome. She's going to do a reading for us. And so I want you all to help me welcome to the stage to give us a little talk about the importance of community. So please welcome Betsy Hines.
once banded together to increase their chances of survival. People pooled resources, found safety in numbers, and took care of one another. In contrast, in the modern world, individuals could live in complete isolation. I have a neighbor on the other side of my back fence who I've never laid eyes on in 8 years. The question being, can we thrive in isolation? Community enriches our lives in countless ways. It makes us feel that we belong to something bigger than ourselves, affirms our beliefs and values, and helps us to understand and accept our unique human nature. Studies have shown that people who go to church live longer, are happier, more prosperous, and help out more in their communities. Why should we miss out on these things just because we don't believe in the religious part? Thankfully, Pippa and Sanderson in London have begun a movement to fill this need for community, which is now progressing across the globe. People who are not religious can now benefit from gathering with like-minded people. At Sunday Assembly, we're creating a space centered on the principles we believe in, appreciating and celebrating life, enhancing our lives and others' lives, and sharing joy and community. In the words of one assembler on how Sunday Assembly has improved her life, all my life, I've never spent longer than 6 years in one place. Because of this, I never belonged to a specific community. This never bothered me because you can't miss what you don't have, right? Earlier this year, when I walked into my first Sunday Assembly in London, my very first thought was, I found my community. And all of a sudden, I realized what I'd not had up until now. Being part of a friendly, positive group of people who want to learn, who are high in life, and who are set on achieving their true, full, and desired potential is incredible. People who realize it's our responsibility to achieve our personal best, and to both change and appreciate the world we live in. My life has certainly been improved as I'm now keen to learn about the world, keen to take the time to be grateful for everything I have, and keen to constantly better myself. You can tell she's British. I used to feel shy that I was an always smiling optimist and a sort of new age hippie, but I now wear those badges of pride. Wonderment and spreading the wonder, the love, the help, especially in a busy city like London, are now part of my daily routine, all thanks to Sunday Assembly. Oh, and it's also encouraged me to sing at the top of my lungs, no matter how out of tune I may be, because we only live once, and if Aretha is playing, you best be singing. Another assembler had this to say. The Sunday Assembly has given me the opportunity to contribute to a rapidly growing movement in a very early and therefore particularly exciting stages of its formation. Intellectual discourse about the lack of evidence for a deity is useful, but it's not enough. What's needed, especially where non-believers are stigmatized, is an enjoyable space for a congregation of like-minded people of all kinds, where they can obtain the support, inspiration, and fellowship that believers can find in their religious institutions. In the U.S., 1 in 5 people have no religious affiliation, and the fraction is even higher in Europe. We don't have to appeal to that many of them to be huge. Will the Sunday Assembly be huge in 5 years? Nobody can say, but we have a fighting chance if we do it right. Working with a group of talented people, trying to do what is right is a lot of work, but also a fulfilling challenge. Personally, myself, I had the same experience when I walked into my first Sunday Assembly. Here is my tribe. Thank you.
Thank you guys. One more time for that. Absolutely. It's about community. Although your neighbor, I did meet him. Don't worry about it. No, and a nice little point in there. Singing at the top of your lungs. At the end tonight, we will be. Tonight? Is it really that late? No. This morning we will be doing a sing-along at the end, and encourage you please, when that time comes, to sing. Have fun. That's what you're here for. And that kind of brings me to our speaker today, because we have a wonderful speaker who you're going to hear not just speaking, but also some music. So, and I want to get this right, so I'm going to actually read this. So I want you to help me welcome our speaker today. He is a retired professor of pathology at UCSD, the originator of the scientific gospel, the only musical genre that can range your science grades in school. And he's here today to talk about how Darwin got his ideas. I want you all to be nice and loud and welcome Dr. Stephen Baird.
us up here today are a subset of the Galapagos mountain boys, who we sing scientific gospel. Some of us have probably heard some of our stuff. We're going to project all of our lyrics and the choruses, and you'll have 2 or 3 shots at the chorus in each one. You learn the melody by listening to us the first time, and you can sing along with us. And if you know the song already, sing along with the whole damn thing, okay? Now, this is a lyrical lecture. We're going to try and tell you something about how Darwin got his ideas, but it's both going to be like this and what we actually sing about. So our first song is called Charlie Darwin, and there are some ideas in this, 4 here. Things took vast amounts of time, and Charles Lyell was a geologist who had a big effect on Darwin. Species are not stable. The Bible says they are. The kinds are stable. Darwin and Wallace independently determined they're not. Everything happens by very gradual change, and there's no supernatural plan. So, Dwight, get us started.
All right.
We were mired in mystery, whose mist obscured our view. Mythology told everyone what we should say and do. Then Darwin's parents made him deployed back in 1880. And when their sun began to shine, the darkness would abate. Charlie went to Cambridge for his bachelor's degree. Though most folks haven't heard, he got it in theology. Set sail on the Beagle when 242, as nothing would remain the same once Darwin's trip was through. It was Charlie Darwin who came right to our mind, who showed without solid how species did arise. It was Charlie Darwin who showed their plan, just mutation and selection in the descent of man. Okay, another verse now. He used his own money, for there were not any grants. He studied variation, both of animals and plants. Found that variation puts a species to the test. Although it happens gradually, selection finds the best. Okay, here comes the chorus. It was Charlie Darwin who gave sight to our eyes, who showed without with solid how species did arise. It was Charlie Darwin who showed there was no plan. There's mutation and selection in the descent of man. Darwin wrote his origin, and everyone said, great! Well, maybe not exactly, for it kindled some debate. But evidence has mounted, so there's no remaining doubt that evolution made us all unless you are divine. Therefore, it was Charlie Darwin who gave sight to our eyes, showed without solids how species did arise. It was Charlie Darwin who showed there was no plan, just mutation and selection in the descent of man. Just mutation and selection in the descent of man. My wife Carol and I took a trip to the Galapagos Islands this October. There's one of those giant tortoises, and over here is what's called a red-footed booby. There are Nazca boobies, blue-footed boobies, and red-footed boobies. And one of the interesting things about this bird is you notice it has webbed feet, but it also sits in trees and grasps with those webbed feet. No other webbed-footed animals do that, but this bird does that. There is a transition going on there. And Darwin noticed things like this. So he saw constant variation. He also, in 1838, after he got home, read Malthus and recognized that resources could become limited. And then variance could be selected that did better when resources were limited. And descent with variation plus selection equals speciation. In his first book, in 1859, was on the origin of species. Descent, variation, selection, speciation. So we're going to do something called Walking Where Darwin Walked. Which I wrote while I was in the Galapagos. Where Darwin walked, seeing what Darwin saw, noticing varieties in all of nature's creatures, sharing Darwin's sense of awe. Walking where Darwin walked, standing where Darwin stood, wondering how animals had changed so many features. Constant variation, walking where Darwin walked, seeing what Darwin saw, thinking of the mechanisms causing variation, nature read in tooth and claw, walking where Darwin walked, standing in Darwin's life. The power that created speciation, asking if selection might. Species were unstable as the Bible taught. Seeing alterations, Charlie Darwin thought there were so many changes, features great and small, descent with variation, couldn't explain it all. Where Darwin walked, reading what Darwin read. Mountains are new populations, may exceed resources. There's my theory, Darwin said. Sailing where Darwin sailed, reading what Darwin wrote. Finally understanding, interacting natural forces, evolution flows our boat. We can end it on that note. The next thing that we're going to do is a little song for Dave Gilliam today, called the Scopes Monkey Trial. In 1925, in the town of Dayton, Tennessee, the merchants were having poor business in general, and they decided they needed to do something to spruce up their bottom line. The Tennessee legislature had recently put forth a law that said it was illegal to teach evolution in the public schools. They thought they could take advantage of this. So they went to the local high school teacher, John Scopes, and said, would you be willing to be arrested for teaching evolution, and then we can have a trial, and it will attract all kinds of people there because we know this is a very hot subject. And he said, yes, that he would be willing to be arrested. So he was, And William Jennings Bryan, who had been president a couple of times, was invited to be the prosecutor. Clarence Darrow, who you see on the left there, and this is a very unflattering picture of Clarence Darrow, but he was an atheist with no soul. So he defended John Scopes. This is John Scopes in the middle. Here's a drawing of Charles Darwin as a young man, and the closest approximation I can find to him over there, that's a gorilla, that I think if you look at him looks a lot like Charles Darwin. And there were lots and lots of cartoons that were published in those days with Darwin looking like an ape. So, here is the Scope monkey trial. The weather was sultry in Dayton in summer 1925. They needed to stimulate business so their little town would survive. And Tennessee teachers of science were now forbidden by law to teach man arose by evolving, as Darwin and Wallace foresaw. A teacher named Scopes in their high school was caught violating the law by teaching the kids evolution, thus rubbing the faithful's nerves raw. Politician named Brian took on the inquisitor's role while defending the Mystrian teacher. Was Darrow a man with no soul? You couldn't teach biology and Charles Darwin's theory. The Bible trumped reality in Dayton, Tennessee. Reporters were sent by newspapers, like Benton from Baltimore Sun, and radio sent their broadcasters. The first time this ever was done. The hotels and restaurants prospered. The hucksters all reaped their reward. The townspeople thumped on their Bibles and sang out the word of the Lord. So merchants use biology and Charles Darwin's theory to make their dreams reality in Dayton, Tennessee. And meanwhile, inside the old courthouse, the Scopes monkey trial broke a rule. For Darrow called Brian to witness and took the old man back to school. The jury said John Scopes was guilty. The verdict reversed on appeal, and Brian was called up to heaven, apoplectic with dogmatic zeal. Today we find biology and Charles Darwin's theory accepted as reality, but not in Dayton, Tennessee. add, not in Dayton, Tennessee, and other places full of fundamentalist Christians and Tea Party Republicans. This is a cartoon from 1882. That's the year that Charles Darwin died. And it's a cartoon kind of indicating the cartoonist's take of what Darwin had contributed. You notice down here in the bottom corner you have chaos. You can read that there. Then worms crawling out of the chaos and coming around to animals with tails that progressively look more and more like monkeys, then human beings, then people with tools, then an English gentleman there, and Charles Darwin supervising the whole thing. In the year 2000, Scientific American had an article about what was the greatest scientific idea of the millennium. And they decided that it was Darwin's theory of evolution. More than Newton, more than Einstein, all of that. And for a number of reasons, one of which was that he took a biology which had been largely stamp collected. It was this idea, this idea, this idea, but they weren't unified. And he put it into made a unified science out of it against an enormous amount of opposition. Einstein, for instance, didn't have any opposition. In fact, nobody really cared what he had to say except in the physics community. So, the single best scientific concept of the millennium: variation, competition, selection, evolution. And this poem is called the single best idea anybody ever had. Said to be created by the Christian deity. But looking at creation, Darwin saw another plan, which would seem somewhat unusual for a former clergyman. Variation, competition, and selection in the best determines speciation, who would fade and who would last. It's surprising this idea still makes some folks poppin' mad. It's the single best idea anybody ever had. Better than Newton, yes I think so. Better than Einstein, but no. Better than Moses, should we go there? Better than Moses, should we dare? Better than Plato, Crick and Watson, Thomas Jefferson, St. Paul, Charles Darwin had the single best idea of them
church. Okay, thank God for that. So that was awesome, and this is the kind of stuff you get at Sunday Assembly. And on top of that, we encourage people to do stuff for the community and tell us what you're doing for the community. That's we have a section called Assemblers Doing Their Best, and that's what it's about. And I said earlier, it's to live better and to help often, okay, and wonder more. So help often. So that's your cue when you're doing stuff. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know how we can help. Let us know how you're bettering the community, how we all can better the community. And then, again, if you want to come up and talk about it or let us know what you're doing, talk to one of the organizers and let them know. So in this section, we call Assemblers Doing Their Best. We have someone today who is has been volunteering for Stand Up for Kids for the last 8 years. Is on the leadership board, I believe. And so I want you guys. I'll come over here actually. I want you all to welcome and we'll talk to Chuck Block about what he's doing.
Everyone, good morning. My name is Chuck Block, and let me go back about 8 or 9 years ago. So I have a great job, I've got a great family, my wife, we have 2 great kids. Everything's wonderful, except there was a little bit of unfulfillment because I was going to work and we're coming home and doing great things, but I felt that there was more that I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be able to give back. And so my wife and I were discussing, well, why don't we become a volunteer somewhere? So we looked for different charities and different groups, and she came across this one called Stand Up for Kids. And the things that I've always liked doing is talking to people. I've always liked being around kids, sometimes more than adults, because I felt that these were kids that, just in general, being able to talk to them, and you can hear things that are so different than the jadedness of many adults. So I said, well, this sounded good. So I went to the orientation, and it was exactly what I was looking for. The group Stand Up for Kids is a 100% volunteer-based group. We do whatever we can to try to help kids that are street kids here in San Diego. We have a center in downtown. The kids can come in every night and we can give them showers, we have clothing, we have food. It really gives them a chance to get off the streets, even if it's only for a couple hours. And many of them are runaways, many of them had problems with their families, they were even kicked out. It sometimes takes these kids, 2, 3 years. And when I mention kids, I should be clear, we are dealing with mostly teenagers. We help kids all the way up to the age of 21. And it might be about a 2 or 3 year period where many of these kids just need to discover themselves that, okay, maybe life wasn't so bad, it wasn't worth it for them to run away or drop out of school. And our encouragement for them is to go back and try to do better things, get jobs and finish their education as needed. We do a lot of outreach programs here in the city where we're going out and we'll find these kids, and many of them choose San Diego as a final destination. The weather here is phenomenal. During the winter, the homeless population here explodes. Now people are starting to travel to other parts of the country. Come next November, December, it'll get exploded in San Diego. It's very common for us, going to the bus stops is where we find a lot of these kids. They just are there. They get lured by jobs in many cases. People will say, come to San Diego, there's always jobs here. So we go to the bus stops, and then there's always a kid saying, I just got in here from Tennessee, and I don't know exactly what to do. And just by showing them that here's an organization that does care for them, that can help them out, some of them realize that after a while San Diego is not for them, and that they really do miss their families, and they'll go home. And that's great. That's all we want to do is let people, do better for their own lives and go forward. This weekend it was fun. We have an event every year we call 48 Hours, and it starts on Friday night at 6 o'clock and it runs through tonight at 6. What we do is for this entire 48 hours, we have our center open where the kids that are normally only there for a couple hours a night can spend the entire weekend there. And we plan these activities with local merchants to, have food brought to us, go out and have a lot of fun games as needed. Yesterday we went to a place called Campland on the Bay here in San Diego. They're phenomenal. they let us have the run of the place. I had 25 kids and 10 staff, and we were just able to do everything. Even the weather was wonderful. Playing at the beach and swimming and kayaking, you name it. These are kids that many of them had never even seen the pools so many times. They're like, wow, this is great. What's a jacuzzi? That warm thing over there. Come on, let's go. So we had a great time. As far as the volunteerings, there are times when we get a little more involved than just feeding them dinner. On Friday night, one of our 8-month-old children got sick. She had a fever of 103. So the mom was a little bit freaking out by this. She didn't know what to do. She herself was a young woman. So we went ahead and took the kid to the emergency room. And it was me and 2 others. And by the time everything was done and checking the baby, making sure everything was fine, we got back at 5 in the morning. So, this is, we're doing this because we want to help these kids. If it wasn't for us doing that, they wouldn't have had anything going for them. So we had a great weekend so far. It's still going on right now. In fact, when we're done, I might be going back and checking up and making sure everyone's having a great time. If anyone is ever thinking about perhaps doing something for the community and you're looking to perhaps volunteer for an organization, feel free to talk to me afterwards. The group is called Stand Up for Kids. We are a national organization, but here in San Diego, there's probably a core group of about 40 volunteers. We're being open 7 nights a week, and we still need 3 to 4 people every night. We have outreach teams that will go out and look for kids. It's a great opportunity for people to give back to the community, to do what I did and realize that working and you can have a wonderful life and family is fantastic, but giving back to me has made my life a lot more fulfilled, and I really, really love doing what I'm doing.
You're the best, sir.
Thank you. Definitely you're interested. Talk to Chuck afterward, yes, and find out how you can get involved. So I want to thank, by the way, since this is doing, Assemblies doing their best. This is a moment also I'd like to thank some of the donors. We have people who donate, they have recurring donations that you can do online. So I want to thank a few of them, Jeff Olson, Laura Haywood, Claire Condra, Sandra Medina, Chloe Reiderman, Tina Pollock, Amanda Dodds, and Glenn Sisson. Let's thank them for their donations, because this is completely funded by donations. And everything we do here is, again, funded by donations. So we have to rent the hall. There's things you have to do. We have equipment. There's certain stuff. So we're not going to pass a hat or anything. Again, this is not your typical church, but we do have donation. You guys can all look in the back here. At the end, when we're all done here, if you would be so kind to donate, if you feel that you have the means to do so, anything helps. Anything helps. Suggested.
Mark White had put a $100 check in here today.
Nice. There you go. $5 though. Coffee at Starbucks. That's great. If you can buy a coffee at Starbucks, you can give $5 and make sure that we can keep the lights on for the next time. So please do that if you can. Whatever you can donate is great. If it helps for me to go to talk like this and go, everybody give your $5, that will I'll do it. The Lord asked for 10%. I'm asking for a cup of coffee. Does that help? Okay. What's that? Oh, and credit cards, yes. You can do a check, you can do cash. In the back, they will have a computer. You can do PayPal. And you can do that. You can set up you can talk to somebody about setting up your ongoing donation if you want to do that as well. So it all is community. It all helps to get back here. Nobody's getting rich. You can see these people, driving around in their, Bentleys in a couple of months or whatever. Okay, then we can go, hold on a second, where's my donation going to? But that's not going to happen. Yeah, please do that. And we have sorry. Also, yes, there's new rewards for recurring donors. There's shirts, engraved name tags, a parking spot, which seems to be something that would be nice, right? And there's also, if you don't do it here, there's a website you can do at home, and you can do the recurring option, which is tax deductible. And and if you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's just if you can do it, cool. And also, I do want to mention this. If you want to give a $5 donation, here's a very easy way to do it and get something for yourself. Our wonderful speaker, they have brought CDs for sale. And they're selling these. So if you guys enjoyed the music, which I'm sure you all did, you can buy a CD, $15, and they said if you buy today, you will donate $5 to Sunday Assembly. So buy a CD, your donation's taken care of, and you've got music. And thank you. Problem solved. See that? Coming together. All right. So here's one more little thing we're going to do, and then I'll talk for a couple minutes, as if I haven't been talking all day. This is a little moment, we're going to do a little moment of reflection, a little moment of silence. And I know a lot of people, some people love it, some people go, what is this, prayer? It's just a moment to take time, reflect, do whatever you want. This is your personal time. Think about what you saw. Think about what you want to do in the future. You can do what I do, sit and try to rank your favorite Justin Bieber song in your head. You know, important things like that. So we're just going to take a quick minute here. And let's just, again, moment of reflection. You can chill out, close your eyes, you can do whatever you want, but just going to get a moment of silence, 1 minute, okay? Cue the sirens. All right, cool. Thank you very much. So now to break the silence, I will go into a little bit about myself. I said earlier today, I am a comedian. This is what I do. I don't always host Sunday Assemblies, but I do comedy, and my comedy is part comedy, part skepticism, part secular activism. That's what I do. So people often call me the atheist comic, even though I don't necessarily like that. But I do talk a lot about the sort of stuff, and it's funny because I have a lot of friends who are all over the map as far as belief goes. And of course, I get people at my shows. Generally, people come out to see me because they know what they're coming to see, but every now and then they don't. And I get people who come up and ask me the questions afterward. I love the questions. Here's my favorite question that I get all the time. All the time I get people come to me and they go, so, do you believe in evolution? And I always find that such an odd question. Do I believe in evolution? Let's see, evolution is a scientific fact. That's like the equivalent of going, hey, do you believe in electricity? Right? Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever says, hey, do you believe in gravity? No, do they? Right? We have the intelligent designers, and it's like, you never see that the other way. It's like, look, yes, you have this idea of gravity. I personally believe that it's God's cosmic superglue holding us to the earth until the solvent of salvation comes and removes it and lets us be raptured to heaven. You know, I'm not saying teach that in school, but let's teach the controversy, shall we? You don't hear that. Do they argue with other forms of academia? Do they come and say, yeah, math. I don't believe in math. Of course, I know nothing about it. I've never studied trigonometry, but I can look at this equation right here and tell you that X is a letter, not a number, sir. And I can tell you something else. In that equation, it says sin multiplied by X. The only person I know that can multiply sin is the devil, so you tell me what's going on. I'm not saying don't teach math, I'm just saying teach the controversy, folks. I have a good friend, he's a really good friend of mine, and he's like fundamentalist Christian. And he always loves to argue with me. And the funny thing about him is he's a great guy, but he's not very bright. Okay? I'm not equating those two. He's not very bright, and he's a fundamentalist Christian. So don't think that I'm saying all of this stuff. He's just not very bright, but he's very arrogant. and very condescending, which is a very strange, it's like, you know that blend of not very smart, condescending, arrogant, and just like, well, right? You know what I mean? Just, And he loves to argue with me about subjects he knows nothing about. And he always says this one, he goes, oh yeah, I know you believe in evolution. Yeah, well evolution's just a theory. It's just a theory. I'm like, okay, just a theory? Really? Just a theory? A theory is one of the highest levels of knowledge you can achieve in science. If you look at some other things that are just theories, gravity is just a theory. Plate tectonics is just a theory. Germ theory is just a theory. So I'd say if you ever say the phrase just a theory, you either don't know the meaning of the word theory, or you don't know the meaning of the word just. You probably say other annoying things. You probably trivialize the word just all the time. You probably are out surfing going, don't worry about that thing swimming there. Can't hurt you. Just a great white shark. That guy, no power. Just the President of the United States. Sorry. Condom? I'm sorry, it's just herpes. I wouldn't do that personally. Trivialize the word just. My friend says this to me, he goes, well, can you say that you know that evolution? Can you prove it 100%? No doubt? No other possibilities? I'm like, well, no, you can't really prove anything with no other. I mean, sure, there's always possibilities, I guess. And he goes, oh, so you don't know? You don't know. And I said, oh, fine, I'll concede, I don't know. He goes, oh, well, when it comes to Jesus, I know. And I got to this one, I go, no, you don't know, you believe, and that's totally cool. And he goes, no, I know. No, you believe. No, I know. No, you believe. And it was went back and forth for about 35 hours. No, you don't know. No, you believe. No, I know. No, you believe. No, I know. But they went, look, this word no, I do not think it means what you think it means. How can I explain it so you'll understand? It's a very complex concept. Some might say this concept is irreducibly complex. Intelligent design joke for you. I said, look, I'll explain it to you so you'll understand. I said, I can't say that I know you're a moron. That is just a theory. Ended there. Here's the thing, you know, a lot of people, we're all here for different reasons, we have different backgrounds. Some people, you might be on the fence, you might consider yourself agnostic. You might still be holding on to some religious views and you're looking for something else because something doesn't make sense. Some of you might be like me, hardcore atheist. Everyone's different, but we're all here. Which means we're all looking for something or trying to be part of something. And here's the thing I want you to take home with this. Whatever it is you do, own it. Be that person. Don't be afraid. You're here, so you're out of the closet. Okay? There's pictures of you. We got you. You're if you feel you're an atheist, tell people, I'm an atheist. You're an agnostic, you're a humanist, whatever you want to call yourself. Own it. Okay? Because think about this. Your position, you got here, probably, more than likely, you got here by evaluating evidence and using your critical thinking skills. That's something that we all have in common. We've all evaluated the world around us and the evidence presented to us and come to this conclusion that we're not sure or we don't believe in the stuff that they're giving us. That's why we're here. And that's fine. You should be proud of that. You should own that. Critical thinking skills, to me, and understanding how to evaluate evidence, that's the number one thing we should be teaching people. It's the number one thing we should be teaching kids. Because think about this. If for some reason, all the knowledge in the world, everything you've ever written, everything that's ever been created was destroyed. Somehow all our minds were erased from everything we know. We had to start over again. Here's what would happen. A couple thousand years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years, 2,000 years, doesn't matter. However long it takes. All the scientific knowledge that we have now, we'd eventually get back. We'd get computers again, we'd get flight, we'd get vaccines, we'd get all this stuff again. We would come to those conclusions again. However, all the religions that exist now would be lost forever. Sure, we'd have 10,000 new religions, right? We would. But it wouldn't, it wouldn't be Zeus, and it wouldn't be Muhammad, it would be some, it would be the god of, Zoltar, and they would come up with all kinds of new stuff. But the ones that we have would never be repeated. Why? Because beliefs are completely made up, and facts are discovered and built upon. Our technology is built upon facts. Those facts are discovered. They're not made up. We don't pull them out of thin air. Okay? Right? Yes, exactly. So, when I think about this stuff, I think about trying to teach this stuff to my daughter. And because, like I said, again, Sunday Assembly. What's our mantra here? It's the same. It's live better, help often, wonder more. How do you achieve that? You can achieve that through other means. It doesn't have to be through religious means. And in fact, I have a daughter, my daughter. She's 9 years old now. And I'll tell this little story about how, to me, sums up everything. Sums up the way I feel we should be thinking. Okay, and this comes from at the time my daughter was 6 years old. Okay, and I have a shameless plug here. I've got an hour comedy special coming out in August. It'll be on TV if you guys want to check it out. It's called Ian Harris Critical Thinking. Hopefully the first skeptic hour comedy. But I was working on the material for that. I'm driving around my car, talking to my other comic friend on the phone. It's in the speakerphone of the car, and I'm talking about how I want to come up with a bit about original sin. I'd love to do a bit about original sin. And I hang up the phone, and my daughter goes, "Dad, what is original sin?" And I'm like, "Oh, wow, this is strange," because she doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about. She's never been subjected to the Bible. She knows nothing about it. So I go, "Well, I'd like to explain it to you, honey, but it's not going to make any sense to you. I'll tell you what, I'll give you an analogy. That way it'll be easy." She goes, "Okay." I said, "You know how Dad said don't put your fingers in your food?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, well, pretend Dad is God." Pretty easy to do, actually. I go, "No, pretend Dad is," and I said, "Don't put your fingers in your food, and if you do, I'm going to punish you and everybody else for all eternity." A couple weeks go by and you put your fingers in your food, and I go, "Sorry, I warned you." And then I just start punching people in the face. And I'm walking around punching people in the face, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, why are you punching me in the face?" I'm like, "Because she put her fingers in her food. Justice, that's why." And I'm punching people in the face, and I just wander around punching people in the face. And after a few thousand years, or a couple of million, depending on whose book you read, I think to myself, I might be being a tad bit irrational. So I'm going to have another kid, this time a son, and punch him in the face. And that's what I do. I just wander around the earth punching this baby in the face. And people go, "Whoa, Mike, what are you doing?" And I go, she put her fingers in her food, so I'm doing this so that I don't have to do this to you. So that's how it is. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it. And my daughter starts cracking up, and then she goes, "Dad, stop it. It's not comedy time, Dad. Quit being silly. Tell me what really happened. Give me the story." So I said, "Fine. Story. God creates these two people, Adam and Eve. He says to Eve, he goes, 'Look, don't eat this fruit from this forbidden tree of knowledge. We have a tree of knowledge, can't have you thinking, so don't eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge, or else I'm going to punish you and everybody else for all eternity.' A little while later, a talking snake comes along, and he says, 'Don't worry about that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Go ahead and eat the fruit.' So Eve eats the fruit, and God says, 'I'm sorry, I warned you. I told you. Now I'm going to have to send everybody to hell to burn forever for all eternity.' And that's what he does. He sends people to hell, and he sends them to hell to burn for all eternity. And you're going to burn. Sorry, why? She ate some fruit. It's not my problem. It's called justice. And he's just sending people to hell. And after a couple thousand years, or a few million, depending on whose book you read, God says to himself, I might be being a tad bit irrational. So I'm going to have another son and murder him. So that you don't have to go to hell because this chick ate some fruit. And my daughter at this point gets really mad at me. She goes, "Dad, I said stop it. That doesn't make any sense. Now tell me what really happened." And I paused for a second, and I looked at her, and I go, "You know what, baby girl? That is the appropriate response." Because it is, right? Question. So that's my time. Thank you guys for having me here. I I do need to make a few announcements, and then we're going to do our game, Two Truths and a Lie. So a few announcements. Sorry for reading these. I have to read. Sorry. Summer is all about beach bonfires and baseball. So Sunday Assembly will be tailgating and rooting for the Padres at the Sunday, September 21st game against the Giants. The sale will start at our main assembly, but you can reserve tickets today. Each ticket is $20, and you will have there's additional information on family packages and tailgating during the May assembly. And you can also see Sandra if you're interested today in the back. So be sure to do that. Also, there's merchandise Sunday assembly. Stickers, shirts, mugs, all that, everything is in the back. And also in the back, you can volunteer. There's volunteer safety, you can learn to, you can volunteer to, you can be a speaker, a reader, you can do the doing your best moment. If you know somebody, if you want to do it, come to the table in the back, let us know, and they can sign you up. Also the kids, there's a kids program. So volunteer. It's cool. It's really cool. It's growing, as you can see. I guess before there was a couple, now there's tons of kids back there. It's fun if you if you have a background in that sort of thing, and you would like to volunteer to be part of the kids program. That would be very helpful and very necessary. Also, social media volunteers. If you know how to do Twitter, Facebook, all that sort of stuff, join Sandra afterward to find out how you can help us with. Yes, back here. Yes, there it is. There she is. Look. Waving her hands, that's Sandra. Be sure to talk to her if you think you can help out. Philanthropy events. Where's Mary? Right there, raising your hand. All right. So Sunday Assembly, it's a Give Want board over at the philanthropy table. So it's a way to connect. Somebody said it's like a Craigslist. Get together and collect with connect with other people here. Let's grow the community. Get together, find friends. Meet like-minded people. Be sure to check out that community board. And then next month's community project, we are collecting tents, backpacks, jeans, all to benefit Stand Up for Kids. So do that sort of stuff. Again, see in the back how you can help out with that, how you can donate this sort of stuff to help out Stand Up for Kids. And we are going to bring up. Also Sunday Assembly SanDiego.org is the website. Sunday Assembly SanDiego.org. And now I'm going to bring up Brigitte, who's going to do a little bit of a talk.
Some more announcements. We need your opinion, not just your opinion, but we need you to do a little homework right now today. And your responsible. Is this one? Hello. We need to do some homework. We need your input on what you want this community to be. What you want this community to be. We have a questionnaire that you can fill out. It's in your little program. And then you can fill it out. It's not a lot of work, just a few minutes of your time. And you can give it back to us over there in the back. We have pens as well if you don't have any. Let's see, am I missing anything? It's really important for us to build a community that we want. And when I say we, I don't mean just us up here talking, I mean you. This is our community, and you're going to tell us how we're going to build it. What else? Smoops. We have starting activities, Smoops stands for small groups, and whatever you're interested in. If you like to sing, I do. Some people do. You can join our choir group. We're going to do that once a week. If you don't like to sing, it's not a problem. You don't have to join either. I was really planning to not do too much. Again, you will be able to find our Scoops event in the Life Better section of our website and in our meetup groups. Next month's event is happening here on May 25th at 11 a.m., same time. We will have Dr. David Bortz. He will be our speaker, stay tuned from our info. What else? Obviously, I'm not used to doing this, you will forgive me. Please RSVP on our website. This is important because we need to know, ideally, how many people will come to make sure that we have enough coffee, enough cookies, enough organized to get everybody happy. Oh, I want to remind people that it's okay to park in the bank's parking lot not far from here. Right there. And it's better than exciting things happening next month. We have some of our organizers who are going to London on their own money and their own time, obviously. And this is the first Sunday Assembly International Conference. They will go over there and hopefully bring back some more ideas, inspirations, facts, anything that will help us here build this community. As you know, this is not just happening here in San Diego. It's global. We want a place to be, us, non-believers, atheists, agnostic. We want to find a place to be. And I'm almost done. That's it. I think that's it. Conference men, parking over there. Please stick around for coffee, tea, cookies. I'm part of the hospitality department here, so I'll be happy to see all of you back there. And it's also an opportunity to get together, to schmooze, to meet new people, to have a little talk. And really, that's what the idea is. And I think I'm done. For your sake, I think I'm done. Thank you so very much for being here, for being a part of this new community, and we shall see you next month. Bye.
Also, Earth Fair, there's a booth at Earth Fair today, so you guys can learn how to get there. Talk to an organizer. And we're going to do a couple things and we're out of here. So, hope you guys are having fun. We're going to do a little sing-along with the game. So, real quick, the two truths and a lie. We're going to stand up and find somebody you don't know. And anybody, so about mine, I said that I was a fundamentalist Christian preacher. I have been with my wife for 24 years, and I also train UFC fighters. Anybody know what the lie is? 24 years. 24 years. No, I was never a Christian pastor. I was born an atheist and I'm dying an atheist. So, never had a religion. Everything else is true. Alright, so let's stand up. Find somebody real quick. We'll do this and then we'll do a little sing along, which is going to be a lot of fun. Monty Python. I love Monty Python. So we're going to grab somebody and remember, you're going to tell them two truths and a lie. You're going to guess, and then you're going to reveal, and then you're going to go back to your good life with Brian, I hope. This is Monty Python's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. Sing along, we're going to have fun. In a moment, let's get disable that and bring up the...
Excuse me, but there's been some sort of mistake.
Oh, well, we'll sort that out later.
Oh, that's a good one, eh? We'll sort it out later after you've been crucified. Typical bloody Romans, eh?
Now you can shut up.
Or what? I'll have to give up being crucified in the afternoons. But I don't want to be crucified. Oh, cheer up, Brian. You know what they say. Some things you like are bad, they can really make you sad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's